Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unanswered Questions.
You said it right that time.
Yeah, this is the second take. It's been a while. There was summertime.
It was.
We don't get questions a lot in the summertime.
This is our first Q&A back.
Of the season.
It
Yeah.
is.
So, welcome to Unanswered Questions. Sometimes during our live video broadcast to schools, we don't get enough time to answer all the questions that students ask us. So we take some time every month to answer the top upvoted questions we didn't get time to get to. And here are some of the questions.
Yeah.
First one. Has the White Hatter team ever been hacked?
I can't recall of a time.
Not like someone's broken into our security here at the studio.
Yeah.
We have some pretty good security protocols.
But no matter how secure, there's always risks, right?
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, I've been online gaming now since the beginning of online gaming. And I've had old, outdated gaming accounts of mine personally hacked because the company that runs the game, maybe they had a security flaw or they didn't do updates. And so...
Yeah. Speaking of gaming, aren't you doing something this Friday?
Yes, we are doing a
October,
live...
what is it, October 11th?
We're doing a live Fortnite stream
Yeah,
here in the
you're
studio.
hosting a Fortnite stream. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to be using that, I got Brandon for his birthday, this haptic belt that you put on so when you're playing online gaming, you feel vibrations and stuff?
No, not for this stream.
How's that
no.
been working for you?
It works
Pretty
fine.
cool?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah. So no, not that I can recall.
Yeah. What if the hacker or bully finds your address?
That's in your wheelhouse. Go for it.
Well, I mean, there's nothing inherently against somebody knowing information about you. It's really about if they're making threats about that information, like I know where you live and I'm going to do bad things to you. Well, then, I mean, that's now we have a problem here. But if someone just says, "Yeah, I know you live at 123 Sesame Street," okay,
Yeah.
I mean, you could know that by just driving by and see me walk into the house.
Yeah, for sure.
And your internet connection does leak some information about you to every website you visit. Yeah. It's like a car license plate number.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to see it.
Oh, it's kind of like I know I'm dating myself because you've probably never seen one before, a phone book.
I've seen those.
Remember those?
Yeah.
Right? Don't get them anymore, but your name and address and phone number, unless it was unlisted, wasn't publicly available in the phone book too, right? Mm-hmm. So. Third question. Where did you get the name the White Hatter from? Go for it.
Well, it can come from a couple places. One, when we do broadcasting to schools, we wear big, funny white hats.
We do.
And no one ever remembers our names.
No.
And students just started saying, "Hey, you're the White Hatter person," because they always remember the white hat.
I remember I was on a ferry coming from Vancouver over to Victoria. I was still dressed up in my costume, as I like to call it, my uniform. And there was a group of high school students coming over for a volleyball tournament, and they saw me and they went, "Hey, there's the White Hatter." They couldn't remember my name, but they remembered me as the White Hatter.
They always remember the hat, which, I mean, hey, it's good if you remember something
Branding.
about us.
Branding.
Yeah.
Branding.
And if you want to use it as like a symbol, sure. I mean, people who tend to do bad things on the internet use the darkness and shadows of places online. You can't easily find them. So we just shine a big bright light into those dark spaces to show you what they're doing to avoid problems.
For sure.
Easy as that. What if a hacker gets into your messenger and bullies your friends pretending to be you?
That's another question for you.
Yeah, not rare it happens, not impossible, but we have seen that occur. Yes, we always like to teach students at young ages how to protect their accounts to avoid that because, yes, it's the person hacking who is the one going to get in trouble. You do have to do a bit of management of your social relationships to go, "It's not me, I promise you," and you have to do some work to prove it. People are going to assume it's you, so you're going to have to take some work. And yet, honestly, yeah, sure. Can there be some friendships that could be destroyed by that? Mm-hmm. Could be, but most good friends can be reasonable. Go, "Oh yeah, you were hacked. I get it."
Yeah, for sure.
If they don't get it, well, maybe they weren't good friends to begin with anyway.
Yeah. I'll read and answer the next question. What if you tell the authorities and they don't do anything? Not an uncommon question. Well, we hear this quite a bit, not just from students, but also from parents and even educators as well. So considering I was in law enforcement for 30 years, one of the things I always recommend is that if you're not happy with the response that you have for the attending officer, then you can proceed to the next step, which is now you ask to speak to the watch commander. And if you're not happy with the watch commander, then you can ask for the detachment commander. So there's a process that you can go through, and often we get involved in guiding families and teens through that process. And as a result of that, usually at a point in time, something is done. Now, I'm not going to lie, there are times where they still ignore. And if that happens, there's another process that we can go through for a complaint process to make things happen that way as well. Mm-hmm. I am happy to say that in most cases, though, especially now that law enforcement is getting more education and training on this topic, that they're taking issues like we talk about more seriously.
Yeah, you might have to do a bit more advocacy on your part.
That's a good word.
It's not
advocacy.
Super, uncommon that you make a complaint over the phone, going, "Hey, something's happened to me on the internet," and the person on the phone says, "It's the internet. Nothing can really be done about it." That person may not be as trained in internet-based investigation work, so you might have to do a bit more, advocacy.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask and answer the next question. What if you send them a fake nude picture and they believe it? We just finished doing a presentation to a high school where we were talking about these very issues. No such thing as a fake nude, right? Let me caveat that a little bit. Let's say you're using artificial intelligence to create a nude of somebody that you think is not real, but it's obviously if somebody, or appears to be somebody under the age of 18, legally here in our country, it's still considered the distribution of child sexual abuse material. So in several cases, although you think it's fake nude, it could still legally be illegal for you to do that, even if the other person believes it or not. Yeah. Right. So that's important to understand.
Now, let's assume you're over the age of 18, you have a body type of an adult, and you send someone asking for nudes, a fake nude, instead.
Yeah, there's other charges under the criminal code that if you're sending an intimate image or nude without consent, then you can also be arrested under the criminal code for those sections as well.
What if you just copied a photo of a adult actor off the internet and used that?
If it's still is it an intimate photo or is it just a regular photo?
Well, it's an adult actor, a nude of an adult actor.
Then it's still, you're sending specific and intimate image without consent, which could legally get you into trouble under the criminal code.
But wouldn't an actor, like I'm talking like someone in the adult industry?
Yeah, but if you're sending me an intimate image,
but the actors already published them publicly.
Yeah, but they didn't give you permission to post it to me without my consent, right? So I think legally there still could be an issue there.
Interesting question. Yeah. Definitely check out a lawyer on that one. Yeah. But interesting possibilities.
Yeah, we're not lawyers. We don't pretend to be one.
Yeah. No, what we do is our experience is actually working families through challenges.
And with 30 years of law enforcement, I have a strong background in the criminal code as well. So, yeah. And then we stay current with case law.
Oh, yeah. There's some really obscure case laws out there that's like, really? That could be illegal? Yeah. Exactly. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what judges can rule on.
Yeah. And some of the laws that are still in the books, you go, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Can Discord hear and record whatever you're doing on your phone while using the app? And what if your camera is open? Can they see you? Okay. So if you're using Discord and using its application, then anything you do on their app, they can see what you're doing. Now, if you have Discord open and then you're, searching YouTube, is Discord going to see that? Probably not. There might be a couple things they can see, but difficult. If your camera's on, if you're using a phone, if your camera's being accessed by an app, it will indicate for you going, hey, your camera's on. So typically Discord only enables the camera when you're actually in a voice call.
Just a side note on that. Did you read the article? I think it was in the New Yorker now about how modern cars, there's real concerns, privacy issues, how modern cars are now give the ability to some of these auto dealerships to hear what's going on the inside of the vehicle?
Yeah, there was a patent being filed by Ford in regards to that ability. If they will or not, that's a question.
It's very interesting. And Tesla also being able to record everything because there's so many cameras in there, right? So
Tesla got in hot water a couple years ago because camera recordings were being sent to the company.
Exactly.
And some employees stated that, we had a private group chat where we shared private pictures from cars.
Yes.
It's like, okay, you admitted that? All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Or how some police departments in the States are seizing cars because there could be evidence of crimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's
because of the cameras.
It's amazing, right? Privacy when it comes to technology is a huge issue and often something that we don't talk enough about because we just say, well, it's there and we have to accept that fact when it's not true, right? So, I mean, we're privacy hawks here at the White Hatter, and understanding technology when it comes to privacy is really important.
If you block people on social media, is that safe?
Well, it's safer, right? If somebody's saying and doing things to you that you don't like, then just block and delete them. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, what you got to be careful of, however, one of the things that we recommend, especially when it comes to sextortion issues, is that before you block and delete them, and if you are going to notify law enforcement, don't delete, just deactivate the account. Don't delete it, just deactivate the account. Because if police got to get in there for more evidence, then it's easier to do that on an account that has been not deleted, but having
Deactivated.
Deactivated.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, some social media accounts, when you delete something, will actually make it harder to recover.
Yes.
So for evidentiary purposes, just deactivate. But yeah, most of the time,
Absolutely.
blocking is a really good step for most issues you will come across on the internet. And blocking is the very first step you want to take. Right? You message us for help going, hey, someone's being mean and rude to me. First thing we're going to ask you is, have you blocked them yet?
Yeah.
You'd be amazed how many students say no.
No.
Well, that's the first step.
Right.
When you click allow once, can they install cookies to track you over time?
That's a great question. There's no doubt that if you click once, they're probably dropping a cookie, right?
Yeah, that depends if the website is being compliant with their notification.
Exactly.
Right? So those cookie pop-ups, that's not your browser. That's the website saying, do you want to allow cookies?
Yeah.
Now, again, could they be lying to you? I guess technically they could. On your browser, you could just disable cookies altogether. But then again, some websites really need those to function. So you might break parts of the internet.
And cookies sometimes are convenient for us because now it allows us to get the sites that we like a lot quicker as well.
Yeah.
Right. So there's positives and negatives to cookies and super cookies, right?
Well, cookies are being abandoned now. I mean, Google's new tracking methods,
Yeah.
they're not using cookies. They're using, partly AI, unique URLs.
Yeah. It's interesting, right?
Yeah. But typically, most websites you visit, you go, can we put cookies in your computer? You go, just once. Typically, they do follow their own rules.
Right.
No guarantee, but usually they're pretty good.
Yep. Interesting question.
Can your internet or router see what apps or websites you opened and show it on your internet bill?
I think that depends upon your internet service provider. What I can say is, yes, there are some routers that will track where you're going and what you're doing, and that can be made visible to the parent. They don't necessarily need to get a bill. I know in the United States, there are some carriers in the United States that a parent will get a bill, and on that bill, it will also show them where people are going using the internet service provider. And this is really important to understand because we've heard a lot of students going, well, to help prevent that, I'm using incognito mode or private viewing mode. Well, yeah, it may stop your history on your device from recording what you're doing, but your internet service provider is still collecting that, and that information can be easily obtainable by law enforcement by way of warrant if they need to conduct an investigation.
Yeah, may not actually probably won't tell you what you're doing, but your router will say, "Hey,
you went to Pornhub."
This device is accessing a website or connecting to Discord in some way. They can see the top level connections, but they won't be able to see like, oh, you sent that picture to this person.
And in some of the routers, like the Griffin router is a good example. If the link is a little like, what does that mean? There's nothing to stop a parent from clicking on it and seeing where it actually goes to, right? So
when you send something on iMessage and delete it, is it fully deleted? Well, you might delete it off your device, but, are you able to delete it off the other person's device? Probably not. I know some other messaging services out there do have the ability to delete something off your phone and the other person's phone who received your text or message.
Or it could still be on the server of Apple too.
Could be still on the server, and someone could always screenshot messages. So never a guarantee, but it really depends on the messaging platform itself. But from what I recall, iMessage, you delete a message, it's just on, if I recall correctly, it is just on your device.
You are correct. The messages that you sent, like let's say you're engaged in a conversation between you and I, if you delete the messages on your side, I won't be able to see them, but I'll still be able to see the messages I sent you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, that depends on the app that you are using.
For sure.
Is Discord bad?
Like we hear this all the time, right? And
But mostly from parents.
yeah, that's true. I mean, this is our message, and it's continuing. Like we've been sharing this message for years. It's not the app, it's not the platform, it's how somebody uses the app or platform that makes it good or bad.
Yeah.
Can Discord be used for bad things?
Yeah.
Sure. Can Discord be used for good things? For sure. We find that most teens and youth are using it for good things. However, some will use it for bad things. It's not the app, it's how a person uses the app.
Yeah, I think the biggest weakness of Discord is its auto mod features, where a lot of social networks have artificial intelligence to delete things that are inappropriate or what they deem as inappropriate. Discord doesn't really have that. It really relies on you to curate a community of moderators to manually
Should they?
delete things. Should they?
Yeah, should they? What do you think?
Discord has been starting to play with auto mod functions you can enable. Some Discord communities install their own dedicated moderation bots that are separate from Discord. So I do believe that there should be better moderation.
Now, why
autoed.
is Discord becoming so popular with teens? What's your opinion?
No ads.
Yeah, no ads,
No
right?
ads. At least for now. I mean, they really subsidize with their premium subscription plan.
And they can also curate their channels a lot easier as well, right? Where they can create a locked door where it makes it very hard for somebody else to get in.
Yeah, Discord is like the new version of old school web forums.
Yeah.
It has the instant features of modern social media, but the feel of old forum posting.
And I think if I remember you telling me, Discord, the communications on Discord are not encrypted, right?
They came out with I believe it was voice calls. I think they're adding encryption on.
Okay.
But the actual messages you post in a Discord channel.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. And Discord makes that when Discord is being questioned for safety by governments, other social media platforms say, well, we can't give you information because we're encrypted. Discord's like, there's no problem here. If you want to get stuff from people, just give us a warrant. Nothing's encrypted.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
I get the end-to-end encryption from a privacy standpoint, but for some social media platforms, I just think it's given them an excuse now to not police what's going on because they can say, well, I didn't know what was going on, right?
Yes, but they wouldn't have to if certain powers that be wouldn't abuse their power.
I know.
To,
exactly.
inappropriately collect information when they weren't allowed to.
To their financial benefit.
Yeah. And
for
governments.
Sure, for sure.
So, I mean, yeah. If everyone plays nice, but that doesn't. If everyone plays nice and fair, we wouldn't need all this encryption stuff.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
But people play dirty.
Yeah.
What is the safest gaming console to use?
My old Atari. When it was first created in the 1980s. I think we have one on the set, don't we?
Not an Atari.
Or,
I have
yeah.
an NES. There we go.
Oh my God.
This is pretty hack proof, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Right. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Brandon?
Tripping.
Oh my God. Just back from the holidays. What is the safest gaming console to use?
Any gaming console could potentially be hacked. I mean, Microsoft has had problems in the past. PlayStation's had problems in the past and such. So, but really, hackers don't really hack into gaming consoles per se. Somewhat difficult. So, any of the big ones are totally fine to use, be it Nintendo, Xbox, or
the other thing that you can do too is if you're using a gaming console to stay safe and you're using a home Wi-Fi to play, well then always incorporating a VPN, a premium VPN, not a free one, is just another way to put another fence, another gate, another filter in place to help protect you too, right?
Mm-hmm. If I pirate movies, do you think I'm still safe?
Yeah, you got to be careful where you pirate it from,
well,
right?
You could have downloaded something inappropriately. You could have downloaded a virus packaged in there, and hey, maybe there are legal challenges. Yeah. You might be safe from hackers, but are you safe from big companies wanting their share of what you downloaded?
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, the reality is, if you're downloading something off of a pirated site, is there a stronger chance that it may have malicious code built into it so that when you download it on your device, you infect your device? Well, the answer to that question is yes.
Yep.
Right? It's one of the vectors that they go after.
Guess what you got to do? Call the police because your illegal download had a virus?
Exactly.
No, you're not going to call the police. Yeah, I downloaded something illegally and now I'm hacked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we got more important things to deal with.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah. Can TikTok track you?
Yes.
Yeah, like any other social network.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing unique about them.
No, they have geolocation capability within their software. So yes.
And Meta.
And Meta. Yeah.
And
almost every app that you're going to download on your phone utilizes the GPS technology, tracking technology that you have in your device.
I mean, if you allow it, you can disable that. Yeah. What can I do and learn if I want to work with computers one day? What subjects should I concentrate on?
Oh, this is right up your alley.
Well, really, I mean, computers are a part of every aspect of our lives, professional lives, and relationships. It really depends what you want to do. Well, do you want to be a coder? Well, then focus on the math, the coding aspects. If you want to be a social scientist, understanding how computers impact our psyche, well, then social sciences, right? So you don't have to be a pure coder to work with computers in a professional way.
I mean, I'm dating you, Rilla, but I remember when you were in middle school, you were taking computers apart. I mean, we actually have one on the set. Mm-hmm. Right? An original box computer of when you were in middle school, and you used to take it apart to figure out how does this thing work, right? I remember coming in, you'd have your Legos on one end, and you have your computer stuff on the other end. I mean, it was just amazing to watch you, right?
What is your username on Fortnite?
I don't play Fortnite.
No, but I do.
I'm a boomer.
I mean,
I play World of War Tanks, right?
Yeah, you do.
I'm good at that.
Yeah, did you see that TikTok where people made like a physical tank simulator?
Oh no!
At their desk.
Oh yeah, I did.
And they used 2-liter bottles of pop as the bullet ammunition. Yeah,
it was funny. It was great. Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you play Fortnite. In fact, I think we mentioned where you're doing a Fortnite battle royale this Friday.
Yeah, we're starting to do some streaming now of games like Fortnite, and I recently I play Fortnite a lot. So I have my own personal Fortnite account, but I have made a more public one. It's White Hat Brand, and we'll be probably streaming on that.
And that's going to be moderated, right? Like,
yeah, I mean,
people are saying and doing things they shouldn't be doing. You're going to be
it's Fortnite, right? Yeah. You can't do that.
Yeah,
Fortnite itself is a pretty
mundane.
You can't publicly talk or text to other players in the lobby.
Right.
So itself, as the game, is actually pretty reasonable.
There you go.
Yeah.
Just learn something new.
Unlike other games where you have live voice chat with
like
everyone.
Valorant and some of the other
or COD where you voice chat is with the entire party or entire lobby, right?
Yeah.
So obviously that can get out of hand.
Yeah.
What if your account gets hacked? What do you do about it? Well, it depends on the hack. Typically it's a password hack, so you just change your password. Most of the time that fixes most issues. Not always, but that's usually the go-to solution first to try.
Mm-hmm. I'll ask the next question. Do you think a VPN is a good third wall to protect from viruses, malware, and scammers? No, VPNs don't protect you from viruses, malwares, and scammers. What it does is it ghosts your IP address and can change your location. So, going with a good VPN, premium VPN, not a free one, is something that we always recommend, but combining it with good malware protection. Like we use Bitdefender, right? We think is one of the best on the market. So
some VPNs do have... They will block certain known virus websites from you accessing.
But that's not their strength, right?
No, it's not what they're designed to do. Yeah. It can help maybe a little bit, but I mean, if you want to intentionally download something bad, they're not going to stop you from doing that.
I think the primary role of a VPN is to encrypt messaging and make it harder for people to follow you, right?
Can a specific video game get hacked?
Yeah.
No, they're all vulnerable just the same. I mean, if you're playing a single-player game, probably not. An online game, then perhaps a little bit more, but... There's not one that's more problematic than others. Mm-hmm. What advice do you have for creating the best passwords?
I think it should be minimum 8 digits, uppercase letter, lowercase letter, numbers, and symbols.
Yeah.
All combined into one, right? And make sure that you have different passwords for each social network. And then also one of the things you're having to deal with as well is that you need to remember those passwords, because if you don't, you won't be able to recover accounts. Right?
Yeah, password managers, right? Or, making sure if you're going to use an email to sign up for an account, be sure to remember that email password.
Kind of goes into question number 22, which is what other apps are there for passwords?
Well, the main ones, so if you're an Apple user, there's the Apple Keychain, or they have their new password app.
Yeah.
If you are an Android or Google Chrome user, there's the password manager built into Chrome and like Android.
Yeah.
Then there are third-party apps that you typically have to pay for that work across devices. Mm-hmm. NordPass, 1Password, LastPass. There's all kinds of different ones out there. But the main ones like Apple and Google have their own built-in tool for you.
Yeah.
How can I recover my password when I can't remember it?
This is right up here, because this is something you get all the time. You get those questions. Whenever that question comes into us, I go, hey, Brandon, another question for you. And it's usually this one right here, right?
Yeah. Well, number one, it's the forget my password button, but you have to remember the email that you used to sign up with. That is why we've begun adding new programs, even in elementary school, where we are addressing students. Hey, if you're going to make an online account, that's great. Just remember your email and remember the password for that email, because sometimes students will make a throwaway account. Maybe they want to play games but don't want their parents to know, so maybe they'll make some bogus email with a password they're not going to remember, but maybe 10 years down the line they go, oh, this is now my primary account. Oh, I got to remember the password. Uh-oh, what was that email I used I've never logged into again? Uh-oh. So yeah, we are seeing more of that. We're working more with younger kids and students on managing their digital assets, because we get that question just too often.
And a lot of times it's because they created these accounts when they were younger and they did things on there that they thought was funny, and now they recognize it wasn't. And they need to go in and delete it, but they don't have the ability to do it because they can't remember their passwords or their emails that they used at the time, right? I'll ask this next question. What could you do if someone steals your credit card info online? Well, number one, notify your credit card company. A good example, we have watch fors on our credit card, so that if our credit card is used over a specific amount, we immediately get an alert that allows us to go in and check to see what's going on. Did we use it? Did you use it? What's going on? And if there's any suspicion whatsoever, we immediately contact the credit card company to let them know. So not only will I let the credit card company know, I'll also let my bank know that I have the credit card through, to notify them that my account could have been compromised, so that they also put a watch for on there as well.
Yeah, credit cards have fraud protection on there that, fraudulent purchases you're not going to actually pay for.
Most credit cards.
Most credit cards. Do check your policy.
Yeah, for sure.
How can I tell if an app is trusted?
That can be hard to do. I mean, one of the things I turn to is Common Sense Media in the United States has a really good resource there that, these new games and apps that come out, they do a lot of research on and look at, what are safety concerns, privacy concerns, security concerns, and they rate them, right? And it's a very reputable site that one can go to check out the reputation of an online game or, an online app. So that's one of the ones that I turn to. So, if we don't have it, we haven't played with it, then I usually recommend people to go to Common Sense Media to have a look.
Yep. How do hackers manage to get into your accounts without a verification code? So like you have two-factor on and somehow they still got into your account. Good question. The way I'm seeing that happen is...
Keystroke logger.
Well, they would still have the verification code. They still need that code, right?
Right.
It's linking your account to a malicious plugin or app. Sometimes when you see those logins, say, hey, log in with your Google account or Facebook account, right? Well, sometimes what hackers will do is they will trick you into going, log in or give permission for this app to access my account.
Right.
Well, you have to double check, read what it's asking to access about your account.
That's what he did his master's degree on. That's why he's a big brain on this topic.
Studying and interviewing hackers and scammers. So that's one of the ways hackers will get in, just because you linked their malicious app to have access into your account. That's a...
Here's another question. All these questions are for you. What do I do if I get banned and hacked at the same time for an unfair reason, like on Scratch, for example? So what is Scratch, Brandon? And then how do you answer that question?
Scratch, from what I understand, it's the it's like an entry-level learning how to code program.
That's what it is.
It uses block-based coding mechanics and language, so you don't actually know how to code. You take blocks.
So now what happens if they're banned and hacked at the same time?
Honestly, you're probably nothing you can do.
You're toast.
You can try to make an application to the company or app going, this was a hack. I'm sorry. But honestly,
you're toast.
Yeah. That's why we work with, it's unfair. I get it. And that's why we work really hard with students to prevent hacks like that from in the first place. Because if it happens, you are at the mercy of the company that runs your account. If they deem that, hey, we're going to ban you, they can ban you. Might be unfair, but
Boy, I'm telling you, these questions about hackers definitely appears to be a big topic with the students that are following us right now.
I think I did more programs this month than you, and I think my programs focus a little bit more.
Wow.
Like on that topic.
That's true.
Yeah.
Can one hacker share your information with another hacker?
Yep, it happens
all the time, right? Next question. How do hackers get caught? Because they make a mistake, right? In most cases, I mean, I can talk about this from a policing perspective. We usually catch the dumb ones, right? Like, I'm just being honest with you, right? Because they make a mistake.
Yeah.
Right? And the good ones, it's really hard.
Yeah.
And blockchain makes it harder. However, police are figuring out how to track on blockchain now, right?
Yeah.
To track people down and stuff. So
Everyone leaves a data trail.
it's this cat and mouse game.
Yeah.
Right?
Or the good ones get picked up by 3-letter agencies.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. But usually we catch the dumb ones. They make a mistake.
How do hackers hack TV channels and programs? I actually haven't really seen many reports about TV channels being hacked. No. Honestly, they would have to break into the TV company to change programming. Yeah. Probably quite difficult, I could imagine. Duo authenticator or multi-factor or two-factor authenticator apps always safe? And what if a hacker has access to more of your information?
I should just be sitting down and sipping a tea while I listen to you answer all these questions, right? Like,
well, there have been some malicious two-factor apps that have been made in the past. I know Microsoft had to kick one off of its app stores that was on there for a couple months or so. So just make sure you download authenticator apps from reputable, proper, big name companies. Then you're probably going to be fine. Mm-hmm. What is your rank in Fortnite? I don't track that, actually. I just play Fortnite for fun with my friends.
I'm going to answer the question. As a boomer, I'm playing World of War Tanks. I'm being ranked as a Supreme Allied Commander. Yeah!
He's you definitely on top ranking in that game.
I am.
Can we still do two-step authentication if I only have one mobile device? Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely, you can.
What interests you in this field of study?
Well, I can start to answer that question finally. I mean, what started my interest in this field was in policing when all of a sudden, I mean, it was with you as you were growing up because you're a millennial, right? You're the first generation to get involved with technology. And I quickly saw that the criminal element was turning to technology. So that's what kind of started me. And then when you got involved, I got even more involved in it. So that's kind of how it led me down this path. That's me personally. How about you?
One, I'm a tech nerd. So, yeah, I love technology.
He's a big brain.
Number two, I like helping people. Mix that together. That's what I do now. Tech nerd and help people using tech.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
Good description. Tech nerd. Have you seen the movie Attack from Mars or Mars Attacks with the big brains and then, you're the big brain. You're the big brain. Next question.
Is there a way for schools to use AI in a positive way?
Absolutely. I'm gonna run with this one. Like we hear all the negatives around AI, but we said this before, it's just a tool like any other tool. You can use it in a good or bad way. And when AI first came out, the biggest concern that schools had was plagiarism, right? That students were using it for plagiarism. And that's a reality for sure. But some of the more progressive millennial teachers I'm finding are now looking to integrate AI into teachings, right? And how they're using it. And there's, we give some great examples in our presentations how AI can be used in positive ways, right? So it's not the tool, it's how one uses the tool. So yes, indeed, I do believe that there are positive ways that school can implement AI into its digital literacy educational training. And I think that this is a necessity because like it or not, AI, much like the internet was transformative when it first became popular and publicly available, AI is the next transformational big thing in this field. It is here to stay, and the best thing we can do is rather than trying to ban it, is trying to teach digital literacy associated with AI to use it in a positive rather than negative way. However, AI, much like any other tool, can be used for good or it can be used for bad, right? So, thus ended the preach.
Is there a way to prevent photos from being transferred or copied from an unauthorized account to an authorized one, like using photos from your Instagram for other purposes? So someone just stealing your photos.
There are some watermarking technologies out there that make it a little harder, but with AI now, that watermark can be digitally removed,
Yeah.
right?
Now, on the platform, someone steals your Instagram photos and uses it in their own account. Instagram Meta does have detection software to prevent that. It's actually pretty decent. Now, if I take your Instagram photo and use it for my, I don't know, Discord community, are you going to be able to detect that and stop that? Probably not. Unless you find out about it, then issue a copyright claim against it.
Yes.
And then, but that's a whole legal process that you're probably not going to go down.
It's interesting to see how AI is now pushing people like Adobe is a good example to look at ways to prevent this kind of stuff from happening, right? So again, it's becoming a big cat and mouse game.
Can comments be hacked too? Oh, yeah. I mean, there are some hackers who will get a bunch of devices, and then you've probably seen looking at comments on a video, it's all these like bot accounts. I guess that's the most we've seen that occur. Mm-hmm. How do you know that password protector apps are safe from hackers? Well, you can never guarantee something. They're way better than keeping your passwords on a Word document or a Google document. Way better than the alternative.
Or your Notes app.
Or your Notes app. So just make sure
Which happens more often than not.
Yeah. If you trust like the Apple keychain and the Google Password Manager and such, you're probably going to be fine.
Big players are better, right? There's no doubt about it. But even some, I mean, there was a big thing. What was it? LastPass. There was a data hack there, right?
Yep.
A couple of years ago, and they fixed it. But I mean, any of the big players, I think you're going to be better. And like Brandon said, better that than putting it into a Google Doc or into your Note apps on your phone. I know that in policing, one of the first things we do when we seize a phone, we always went to the Note apps. Why? Because that's where the owner usually kept their username and passwords, right? To allow us to get into the phone. So don't do that.
How do scammers know how to create scams? Well, they just learn. They see what other scammers are doing. There are some scammers who teach other scammers. Some scammers sell education packages. It's a whole industry.
Yeah, it's social engineering. I mean, for me, that's my specialty. You know, when I say that I'm a white hat hacker, my specialty is more about social engineering, how to convince somebody that what they're reading, hearing, or seeing is true. Because once I can build that rapport, then I'm more likely to get what it is that I want to get, right? So,
can people hack into your social media and take pictures you post? They don't have to hack in. Any picture you post publicly, they can just copy. Now, if you have a private post only for you, then I guess they could do that. There have been issues in the past where hackers hack into people's online cloud backups, where people will sometimes auto backup pictures from their phones. And sometimes there's photos that are maybe private, you don't want anyone else to know about, but you accidentally have it backed up to a private cloud. Sometimes hackers will try to get into there.
Yeah.
But your social media, if it's already public, they don't need to hack you. Right click, copy, paste, done.
Got it. Next question. Can data breaches happen on apps other than social media? Yep.
They do.
Simple answer.
There are reports of police departments being data breached, hospitals, governments, you name it.
Yeah. Next one. Have you ever thought about creating your own app? We've actually done that. We actually created our own app, but we found that the program we were using wasn't very user-friendly.
Yeah.
Is the best way to do that. But I mean, we're looking at other options for sure on that, because we understand that, you know, youth liked it. A lot of youth liked it because it allowed them to be able to connect with all kinds of different helping resources that we had. But we're toying around with some other ideas on how to do that. So,
what is your main Fortnite skin? My personal skin I use with my friends. I probably use Aloy probably the most. On my brand new Fortnite skin that I stream here with the White Hatter, it's just default Jonesy. Maybe I'll get a skin for that in the future, but right now it's default.
Well, there you go. Next one. Why is it called Slido?
Well, Slido's the platform we use to collect questions, and that's where we embed our video for live streams.
So Slido, slide into something, embed into something. I think that's where it comes from. It's just the name of the company.
Well, I guess you could use it that way. We use it that way, but it was mostly designed just to have like slides where you can vote on and poll on and ask questions with. We only use the question feature because it allows us to do moderated questions. Other platforms, any question you send, anyone can see, and you can imagine not having your name attached to those questions. People can be a little brazen. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah. About what they want to put into a question that people may not be okay with.
Next question I'm going to ask and answer. What is the main tip you have for people who send nudes and then have it publicly shared? Number one, don't try and ignore it and hope it's going to go away, because it's not. The longer you ignore it, the more it's going to spread. like it or not, the best thing you can do is notify somebody, a person in authority, be it a teacher, be it a counselor, be it the police, to get involved to get these things back. Because the sooner we act, the better. Another way to do it is, if you don't want to notify the police, here in British Columbia, you can notify the Intimate Image Protection Unit service, who can help you, guide you through a process to get these things dealt with. But that would be my main tip is, hey, listen, when these things start to go public, you can't ignore it and hope it's going to go away. It's just going to spread. So the sooner you act to bring it to the attention of somebody who can deal with it, the better. Would you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you sell hats online? No, we are not an apparel retailer. No.
Merch. We should sell merch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Not hats. I don't think we can do hats.
Our hats aren't cheap.
Yeah, no.
Right? They're not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
We could do maybe stickers.
Yeah, we got stickers, yeah. Next one. Do you have other types of hats or just one style? We use the fedoras, right?
Yeah,
White fedora.
There's different types of fedoras, but we're not really stuck with one particular style. I have been debating using like a bowler hat.
Oh, God.
What?
Oh, my God. No, stick with a zoot hat. No, you can use a bowler hat if you want.
I don't know. But there's no like hard rule.
How about a white cowboy hat? You can get a cowboy hat. Yeah. We use a fedora called a zoot hat.
How about a beret?
A white beret? Oh my! Oui, mon chéri.
There's no hard rule on the type of hat, but I think we just kind of lean towards
the fedora. Looks cool.
Fedora and the
bowler hat might look cool too, but yeah. Next question. Oh God, how old are you? All right, I'll admit it. I'm just about 60. I'm 59. I turn 60 next year, so I'm a boomer. Like I'm 60. How old are you?
32.
Yeah. You had to think about that for a second.
It's somewhere in the 30s. I can't remember. It's either 31, 32. I just had my birthday or something. I don't know.
Your generation just doesn't keep track of that kind of stuff.
Not really all that important.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this for?
The company, personally, over 30 years, doing the digital literacy internet safety since about 2008. So that makes it, 17 years?
Give or take?
Yeah, give or take. And then you? About the same amount of time, right? Like you did some work with us.
Yeah, I've been, I guess,
you were younger, right?
Officially like 13, 14 years now.
Yeah.
Do you host galas or other events to spread awareness? No.
Most of our spread of awareness comes through our social media, such as Facebook, Instagram. You do TikTok, YouTube.
Or people invite us to do interviews and podcasts.
That's usually how we do it.
No, we don't host that'll take a lot of work to plan and manage, and we're so focused on actually doing broadcasts and publishing resources that we just wouldn't have time to do a single gala. We'd rather just publish a resource that you can use forever. But not a bad idea, but I think we need more time, more staff.
There's only you and I and Mom. Mom's the money.
She manages all the back end.
Thank God. All right. So
what are the things in the background other than hats?
Oh my, we got everything back there, man. I mean, and everything means something to us, right? Like we got everything. Like we got hats, we got coins, we got old cell phones, we got old computers. I mean, there's just our awards that we've won. I mean, there's a whole vast of things back there. And what you don't see is we have another part of the set where Brandon collects the boxes to all this stuff, right? So we have boxes for all this stuff, which is kind of cool. Like I've seen people now take boxes and turn them into artwork, like these collages, which is kind of cool too, right? So, but everything on our set, I mean, means something to us. It has some meaning, which is kind of cool.
Does cyberbullying often lead to depression, and should there be more precautions?
It can lead, not always, but it can lead. One of the things that we say when it comes to mental health issues, it's usually multifactorial, meaning there's a whole variety of issues that come into play. But cyberbullying, or digital peer aggression, as we like to call it, can be a part of the puzzle, right, to cause that. No doubt.
Yeah, there are some who, get targeted and it doesn't really affect them. There are some it really does. It depends on the person and who they are.
Last question.
What do I do if my nude gets posted, but I don't even have a phone?
Well, if it's posted, immediately notify somebody who can help you. Again, I keep getting back to the fact, when you know that this thing is going public, the quicker you let somebody know who can help you, teacher, coach, counselor, principal, law enforcement, parent, the quicker we're able to deal with it and get it down quickly. And so you don't need a phone to do that. A parent or an adult can help you with that.
Precisely. And those are the questions from September.
I think I got to answer about 7 out of the 54 questions.
I think we did a lot more elementary programs,
Yeah, you
and we
did.
focused more on the having good accounts.
Today, it was my day today. Like
Yeah.
I did a presentation this morning, and I got one tonight. Right? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And you do more of the legal and the social relationship challenges.
You're more of the techie big brain stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, thank you all so much, and we will see you all next time. Bye-bye for now.